December 1944. Fuel rationing gripped Europe and America. Families faced brutal winters with limited coal and wood. Yet some households stayed warm around the clock using a single morning fire. No electricity, no constant fuel feeding, no getting up at night to reload the stove. One brick design captured heat and released it slowly for 24 hours straight. This technology dated back 5,000 years but reached perfection during wartime necessity. After the war ended, modern builders abandoned it almost completely. Today, your furnace cycles on and off dozens of times daily. Your fireplace loses 90% of its heat up the chimney. Your wood stove demands constant attention. Meanwhile, this forgotten brick design still outperforms everything on the market. The question nobody asks is simple. Why did builders stop using the most efficient heating system ever created? The answer reveals uncomfortable truths about profit, convenience, and lost knowledge. Number 1, the forgotten technology. The technology is called a masonry heater. Different cultures gave it different names. Germans called it Kashlöfen, Russians called it Pechka. Finns built contraflow fireplaces. The principle remained identical across all designs. A masonry heater is a massive structure built from brick, stone, or specially designed masonry materials. The defining characteristic is weight, and these heaters typically weigh 4,000 to 12,000 pounds. Some exceed this significantly. This enormous mass serves a critical purpose that modern heating completely ignores. Here's how it works. You build a hot fire inside the combustion chamber. The fire burns intensely for 1 to 3 hours. Internal temperatures reach 1,500 to 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. At these temperatures, nearly everything combustible burns completely. Very little smoke escapes, almost no creosote forms. The brilliant innovation happens next. Instead of sending hot gases straight up the chimney, the design forces them through a maze of internal passages called heat exchange channels. These winding paths extract maximum heat from the combustion gases before they exit. The massive brick structure absorbs this heat like a giant battery. After the fire dies completely, the stored heat radiates outward for 12 to 24 hours. Surface temperatures stay between 120 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit, warm enough to heat your home effectively, cool enough to touch safely. One morning fire heats your entire house until the next morning. No attention required, no electricity needed, no moving parts to break. Number 2, the science of thermal mass. Understanding why this works requires understanding 2 types of heat. Modern heating systems produce convective heat. They warm the air. Warm air rises to the ceiling, stratifies uselessly overhead, and escapes through every crack and draft in your home. When the system cycles off, the warmth disappears almost immediately. Masonry heaters produce radiant heat. This is electromagnetic energy that travels through air without warming it. Radiant heat warms objects and people directly, exactly like sunlight warming your skin on a cold day. The air temperature can be lower while you feel warmer. This explains why standing near a masonry heater feels like standing in warm sunshine. The thermal mass concept works like a battery. The brief, intense fire charges the battery. The massive structure then discharges heat steadily over the following 12 to 24 hours. This completely separates the burn time from the heat release time. You control when you burn. The physics controls when heat releases. The weight matters enormously. 4,000 to 12,000 pounds of brick or stone holds tremendous heat energy. 1 pound of stone can store roughly twice the heat energy of 1 pound of air. Multiply this by thousands of pounds, and you have a heating system that laughs at temperature swings. Complete combustion at 1,500 to 2,000 degrees eliminates almost all pollution problems. Traditional fireplaces and wood stoves burn incompletely at lower temperatures. This creates smoke, particulates, and dangerous creosote buildup in chimneys. Masonry heaters burn so hot and clean that chimney fires become nearly impossible. The exhaust leaving the chimney contains mostly carbon dioxide and water vapor. Number 3, the efficiency comparison. Numbers tell the real story. A traditional open fireplace operates at 10 to 15% efficiency. This means 85 to 90% of the heat goes straight up your chimney. Worse, the rising hot air creates a draft that pulls warm room air up the chimney even when no fire burns. Your fireplace actually makes your home colder most of the time. A modern wood stove certified by the Environmental Protection Agency operates at 60 to 75% efficiency. Better than a fireplace, but far from ideal. The heat comes in waves, hot when freshly loaded, cold when the fire dies. You must reload every 6 to 8 hours to maintain warmth. The temperature cycling stresses both the stove and your comfort. A masonry heater operates at 80 to 90% efficiency. Nearly all the energy in the wood becomes useful heat for your home. The steady radiant output eliminates temperature cycling. Your home maintains consistent warmth around the clock. Wood consumption reveals the true impact. An open fireplace can burn through an entire cord of wood in 1 week of continuous use. A conventional wood stove requires 4 to 6 cords per heating season. A masonry heater requires only 3 to 4 cords for the same season. This represents 60 to 70% less wood than a wood stove and dramatically less than a fireplace. During World War II, this efficiency meant survival. Families with masonry heaters stretched limited fuel supplies through entire winters. Families with conventional heating struggled constantly. The technology proved itself under the harshest possible conditions. Then modern builders abandoned it anyway. Number 4. Why builders abandoned it. 7 reasons explain why this superior technology disappeared from modern construction. Reason 1 is the natural gas transition. By 1927, many American homeowners had switched to natural gas heating. Gas required no deliveries, no storage, no handling. Flip a switch and heat appeared instantly. The convenience factor overwhelmed efficiency considerations. Gas companies promoted their product aggressively. Masonry heaters became associated with primitive, old-fashioned living. Reason 2 is construction speed. Post-war housing booms prioritized rapid building. A masonry heater requires weeks to construct properly. A gas furnace installs in a single day. Developers building hundreds of tract homes could not justify skilled labor spending weeks on each heating system. Reason 3 is cost structure. Professional masonry heater installation costs $8,000 to $65,000 depending on complexity. A complete central heating system costs $3,000 to $8,000. Builders and homeowners see only the upfront number. They ignore lifetime operating costs and the 100-year lifespan of masonry heaters. Reason 4 is structural requirements. These heaters weigh 4,000 to 12,000 pounds. Modern homes built on slabs or with minimal floor framing cannot support this load. Installation requires dedicated foundations or expensive structural reinforcement. Builders avoid anything requiring engineering reviews and special permits. Reason 5 is lost craftsmanship. Building a proper masonry heater demands specialized knowledge passed down through generations. The Masonry Heater Association of North America, founded in 1985, certifies builders, but the total number remains tiny. Most contractors have never seen a masonry heater and would not know where to begin. Reason 6 is building code complexity. Modern codes were written for central heating systems. Masonry heaters technically exist in codes, but require special permitting and inspections. Many local officials have zero familiarity with the technology. Getting approval becomes a bureaucratic nightmare. Reason 7 is cultural expectations. Modern consumers expect instant heat. Push a button, feel warmth immediately. A masonry heater cannot heat a cold house quickly. The thermal mass takes hours to warm up initially. Planning fires a day ahead does not match contemporary instant gratification culture. Number 5, the modern revival. Despite these obstacles, masonry heaters are experiencing quiet revival. The sustainable building movement has rediscovered what wartime families knew. Organizations certifying green buildings now recognize masonry heaters as exceptionally efficient systems. For off-grid homes and net zero construction, masonry heaters provide reliable heating without grid dependence. No electricity means no vulnerability to power outages. No moving parts means nothing mechanical to fail. The heater will outlast the home itself if properly built. Modern materials have improved the technology further. Soapstone offers exceptional heat storage capacity. Pre-engineered core systems from companies like Tempcast, Heatkit, and Tulakivi reduce construction complexity. A competent mason can assemble a factory-made core and face it with locally sourced brick or stone. Kit systems bring costs down significantly. Do-it-yourself installation using pre-engineered cores runs $2,500 to $5,000 in materials. This requires masonry experience and careful attention to safety requirements. Improper construction creates serious fire and structural risks. The Masonry Heater Association provides plans, technical guidance, and builder certification. Annual conferences connect craftsmen and share knowledge that nearly disappeared. The organization has worked since 1985 to preserve this ancient technology for modern applications. A masonry heater makes most sense in well-insulated homes with open floor plans. Central location allows heat to radiate throughout the structure. Cold climates, where heating runs continuously, benefit most. Homeowners willing to manage firewood and plan fires ahead find the system deeply satisfying. The technology is not ideal for poorly insulated homes, where heat escapes faster than the heater can replace it. Multi-story homes without central chimneys face distribution challenges. People needing instant heat will find the warm-up time frustrating. One brick design heated homes for 24 hours on a single fire. Efficiency reached 80 to 90%, while modern fireplaces waste 90% up the chimney. Wood consumption dropped 60 to 70% compared to conventional stoves. The technology worked during the harshest conditions imaginable. Modern builders abandoned it for convenience, speed, and profit. Natural gas promised instant heat without effort. Developers needed fast construction, not quality heating. The skilled craftsmen who understood thermal mass heating died without passing on their knowledge. Today, you pay monthly heating bills that would have seemed insane to your grandparents. Your furnace cycles endlessly. Your fireplace provides ambiance but little warmth. Meanwhile, the solution sat forgotten in historical records and surviving European homes. The masonry heater is not a primitive technology awaiting improvement. It is a perfected technology awaiting rediscovery. The families who survived World War II winters knew something we have forgotten. Heat stored in massive brick releases slowly and steadily. One fire can warm a home for an entire day. The question is not whether this technology works. History proves it does. The question is whether you will be among those who rediscover it.